Hi everyone, I'm Mr. Smith. It's Friday, Paraskevia. Today is our second tutorial on tandebuli in Georgian, postposition ending GAN, which means what something's made of, or maybe from where it's from, and then KEN, which is towards a person or towards a thing. Here the key is nouns and pronouns, and of course adding them to the genitive case is how those are combined. So, if you're ready, let's go. Let's start with my Instagram posters, and on the left GAN and on the right KEN. As we can see, they look optically very similar, and these tandebuli endings are used in the same way. We take a noun, we make it into the genitive case, we add the ending, and we get a change in meaning. Let's look at what GAN gives. Here we have an icon. All icons are made of wood. So if we want to say that it's made of wood, it's made from wood, then we're going to need GAN in the question and in the answer. Ge is tree, gis is the genitive of tree, GAN means it's made from or made of wood, and so technically it's wooden. In fact, we're going to explore this icon in a bit more detail because this was painted by a contemporary modern Georgian artist, and so I was able to ask the artist, Toro, what exactly was it made of? And so we're going to explore those concrete answers too. Without the use of GAN, neither the answer nor the question would have appeared in Georgian. The next is going to be KEN. Now, as we can see, this is St. George on his way towards this plakati. Plakati is a poster or some kind of sign, and so he's on his way towards this. Towards is the tandebuli, KEN. So plakati is this poster. Plakatis is the genitive. Plakatis KEN is towards the poster, going towards the poster. And so GAN tells us what something is of or from, and KEN tells us what something is going towards. Also, it could be towards me, KEN. And so you can see here that not only pronouns but also nouns can be used with both of these tandebuli endings, and we're going to explore in greater detail the function of both. Slide 1 really helps define what GAN and KEN really mean, because the movement between pronouns is very literal. If it's from me, GAN. If it's from us, GAN. If it's from you, GAN. The question, of course, is who is it for? No? Maybe it's chemtvis, it's for me. That would make it GAN, chemtvis. Remember that this was the topic of the first video I did on this series. And so here we can see that transactional movement. And so GAN is from you. It can also be from you as a group, or from you, sir or madam. GAN is from him or her or it or a thing. And then GAN is from them. It originated there. And then KEN is where it's going towards. The sense of origin might be understood, but it's not mentioned. So KEN is coming towards me. KEN is going towards you. KEN is also going towards you, if I'm speaking in a very formal way. So in that literal way, let's imagine that we're handling a big box and we're having difficulty moving it. KEN in your direction. KEN towards me. That's how we're moving the box. And so here it's more of a concrete movement towards a thing or a person, and so KEN is towards you, or towards a group of you. KEN is towards that person over there, in that person's direction. KEN is the same, it's going towards them. What's important and quite interesting is that the Nათესობითი, which we mentioned in the beginning, which is the genitive case, is not here. I normally illustrate it in my videos in purple, and as you can see, it's been omitted in the use of pronouns. Also, Savroczobi, if you have been paying attention, this is an A that's used between the genitive ending and the tandebuli, sometimes in spoken Georgian, and it really appears and disappears quite a lot, but it's also not right. meaning that chemgan, absolutely perfect. Chemagan, absolutely wrong. Chemzagan is absolutely wrong. So in this first slide, we'll just keep it nice and simple. Pronoun, tandebuli ending, that's all you need. Just remember that they have a clear definition of meaning. One does not exclude the other. They don't always complement each other. But to some extent, for example, chemgan shentvis, from me to you, well, that does have some logical ending because that is the destination. You will eventually be the owner. Slide 2, what's interesting is when we use family names, all of the characteristics can come into play. So let's choose Zurabishvili. Zurabishvili ends in shvili, very common ending. So if it's from Zurabishvili, then Zurabishvili Sagan. Zurabishvili Sagan, or the Savrtsobi. A in green is omitted. So Zurabishvili's GAN. If it's from this person. If it's towards this person, this may be physically or even ideologically, Zurabishvili's KEN or Zurabishvili's KEN. Either or, potato, potato, no? If you look at another typical Georgian surname ending ze, so for example, Beridze, Beridzes GAN, Beridzes KEN, choosing Savrtsobie if and when required. I just thought this would be funny and illustrative in the case of Ronald Reagani. No, Ronald Reagani. Well, if it's from Ronald Reagan, then it's Reagani's GAN. You might want to put Savrtsobie here to break it up a bit. So Reagani's GAN or Reagani's KEN, towards or from that person respectively. Here we've got another name ending, of course, Jagerenaya, Jagerenaya, Jagerenaya's GAN, Jagerenaya's KEN. The A, choose it, use it, it's your choice. Brand names too, a little bit different here. Apple's GAN, Apple's GAN, Apple's KEN. Of course, it really matters in the context of for what reason do you need the tandebuli. My understanding here with Apple's GAN would probably mean that it's from that brand. It's an authentic product. So people want things Apple's GAN. They are from the Apple brand rather than a fake or a good copy that looks like the Apple, but it's not Apple's GAN. Apple's GAN even, if that's it. Like I said, Savrtsobie, use it or not. Slide 3, let's get really good with GAN, tandebuli GAN only. Vis GAN is the question who something is from. So Mat GAN would be it's from him. We've just practiced that. But Ris GAN extends that meaning. What it's asking is what something's made of. And we're going to be looking at something that's Ris GAN, made of wood. Bambi's GAN, it's made of cotton. And Vertschlis GAN, it's made of silver. And here is the end result. How do we get there? Well, let's just jump back a bit. We know Savrtsobie means that I can put an A if I want to. I don't want to explain that every time I use it. Neither do Georgians. So get it and remember it. And then we've got our genitive construction added to the noun. So now let's go the other way. Che, chis, chisagan. Made out of wood. Chis. The E has been dropped. Bamba ends in a vowel. Bambis. Genitive of cotton. It is of cotton. Just take a look at it. For example, bamba is the raw material. It's made from that raw material. So risgan connects the raw material with the product. So bambisagan would be this shirt. It is made of cotton. Vertschli ends in a vowel. It is nominative with an I. Just add is, no letter has gone missing here. Vertschlis, vertschlisagan. Maybe my earring. Vertschlisagan, vertschlisgan, made of silver. Now, this will apply, of course, to anything that can be a finished product from an element. It can be used just by putting it into the genitive and adding gan. But one thing I would like to add, just as an anecdote, was about 2 years ago, I spoke to a friend of mine who was wearing a t-shirt, and it was just over there on my sofa, and he asked me, because we were just talking, what color do you think my t-shirt is? And I said, your t-shirt is cream. That was my diagnosis of the color. And he said, oh, I think it's Bambi's Perry. And I thought, Bambi's Perry? Honestly, I was getting Disney references, the color of Bambi. And I was like, is it because Bambi's soft, like a cute little animal? And I was like, well, Bambi's kind of from the Disney orange with spots. And he said, no, because Bamba is cotton. And I was like, oh, wow. So what happened there? And he said to me that you add peri to the genitive noun. So his peri would be the color of wood. Bambi's peri, again, just putting the noun in the genitive, would be the color of cotton. Verzchlis peri would be the color of silver. It's not silver, it's the color of silver. And it really started my journey with genitive nouns. And although peri isn't a tandebuli, and peri was the subject of this video, because in Georgian you can simply add this to the genitive noun to create many colors, established colors like chavi's peri, which is simply brown. Then it allowed me to understand before tandebuli, which is what we're studying now, how these things are constructed. Yeah. So the only thing I want to say is that this is something which is deep in the heart in the construction of the Georgian language that we just have to get used to. Adding these endings on. Tandebuli is a specified list. Peri is just one other function needing genitive, not tandebuli, that we can have a lot of fun with. And for those conversations, I hope that at least today you get more clarity from listening to this tutorial, because it took me 2 years to get that right. Now that I finally got that into my YouTube channel, I'm really looking forward to my friend's reaction. Let's go back to this icon. Now we can take a look at it and we want to know, what is it made of, you know? And we already know GAN. However, what if we wanted to go deeper? Then this question, GAN shedgeba, gives us a more concrete question. It's often used with what is the universe made of? GAN shedgeba, the universe. GAN shedgeba, a rhinoceros horn. GAN shedgeba is often used with kids that are ultra curious. And so that it's made of wood, it's made of gold leaf, it's made with pearls, and it's made with tempera paint. So GAN, okhros potlisagan, margalitis GAN, and temperas GAN. Temperas GAN shedgeba. It's not made with acrylic paint, it's not made with watercolors, it's made with tempera GAN shedgeba. So the logical question, if you don't remember art history and the Renaissance painters, then you think, okay, well, GAN shedgeba tempera. And it's made with pigments and egg yolk. It's made of those constituent parts. So pigmentisagan da kvertschis gulisagan shedgeba. So here we've constructed a more penetrative question to describe what this is made of. It's not from, because visgan, toros gan. That's the name of the artist. Okay, so that's who it's from. But we're talking about what it's made of, aren't we? One thing I will add here, just for reference, radgan. Radgan means because. And it's out of that reason. It's from that reason. It emanates from that reason. And so I never really understood if it's completely connected, but it is a similar word. And also, now that it comes to me, ganieri, which means wide. It takes up a lot of space. Ganieri kucha. It gives a lot of wide berth, so to speak. It emanates a lot of wideness. Okay? And that would be ganieri. So, although I don't want to go too far off topic, this is the structure that we want to study today. GAN will appear and disappear in many ways, and the important thing is that now that we've got it, hopefully we can use it more confidently. Just to conclude, let's revisit my second poster, and as we can see at the top we've got that question, Sait mi dichart. Sait mi dichar, which means where are you heading off to, in the direction of where. And so we could answer that question with what's written in the poster. The poster reads, and if we look in further detail, Shin Nº3-κεν KEN. And if we break it down, as we've been doing during this tutorial, Evropa, Europe. Evropis, of Europe. The A has been removed. Savrçobi wasn't used, but could be. And then Evropis KEN. So, where are you heading off to? I'm heading off to Europe. Evropis KEN. This is more of an ideological idea, isn't it? Not necessarily directly answering the question physically. But Shin, of course, also brings down the message that home to Europe is the direction we want to go. And this is a very Eurocentric and positive message about Georgia's modern political alignment with Europe. The final slide, 3 more examples that are quite common using KEN. The first one is my friend, megobari. It's towards my friend, so megobris KEN. If I'm going towards a village, sopeli, soplis KEN. If I'm then going towards a wood, then is KEN. Here, the disappearance of the vowel is the topic of another video, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. But we're just going to follow the same structure, Savrçobiti nominative, put it into the genitive, add Savrçobi if you want, and then add KEN if you want to say that it is going in the direction of my friend. Megobris KEN, soplis KEN, tqis KEN. That's the last slide of today, and thank you very much. Next week we're going to be looking at Shemdeg and Shesacheb. This means we're going to apply exactly the same skills to achieve a different outcome. So have a nice weekend, and I'll see you then. Bye.